What is up, everyone? It is I, Psycho Blue, conductor of the Hype Train, Mr. High Gems, hashtag Cross Wires, hashtag Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I hope you're all doing very well this warm Sunday afternoon as we await SummerSlam. You know, I almost played Shattered Sun's cover of Return to Serenity, the one they sing all in Spanish, but you know what? They're Puerto Rican. I think for Vega, we put a proper Spanish song. In this case, the only I really know off the top of my head was the Eurovision song from 2007. Too bad those guys all broke out. That song was pretty hype. In the meantime, today we are going to discuss the Matador Vega. Let us get started, shall we? I'm going to minimize this so it's not in my way, and we will continue with our event. Screen a bit bigger while I'm at it. How's everyone doing today? Let's see who's in the chat while I get that set up. Alright. Make it bigger. Alright. Bit bigger. Perfect. One more. And I think we're good to go. Make sure everything is nice and neat. On my overlay is... let's take a look-see. Looks like everything's ready to go. Without further ado, we shall begin talking about Vega. So I know the last two have done Heihachi and Vice have been a bit long-winded, so I'll do the best I can to not trouble you guys with too much useless information regarding Vega. I want to just get to the nitty-gritty on what you should be doing when you decide to play this character. Put him right in the front.
Now, my claws thirst for blood.
Alright, got some colors here. I think for this one I'll go with his main ult. It's a pretty high color. And so right now, my preferred partner for him is Raven. I'm going to show you why Ray is my preferred partner. It's part of our series about the unique things that make Vega who he is. And for this, I'm going to have two types of characters. Or even better yet, a character who has both. A character with a 3-frame normal and a fireball. And a character with not quite as fast, but has a bit better reach on his normals for those that start up quickly. That's important as well. It's a caveat I mentioned earlier with Bison. Vega's got it too, but he can take advantage of it as well. So I will pick one half of the current Street Fighter Cross Tekken Evo champions, Rufus.
I'm on a roll!
And without further ado, we shall begin.
Training stage. Are you ready?
Okie dokie. So the match has started. You are now playing as Vega. What do you do now? So Vega, what makes him so good are the range of his normals. So when it comes to linking, the links are a bit tighter than they were in vanilla. Tatsunoko would link all the time using this move. And while it's still possible to do now, it's a lot higher than before, higher than most jabs in the mediums. For example, that was not a link. That was a link. Like the timing is much higher than before. So if you're linking, while there is a timing to it, it's hard to hit. Like I said, that was only like a 1-frame difference maybe, but it stopped being a combo then. So that link is tighter than it was before. But like I said, what makes him good are his range. Look how far that reached. That's his jab. Go a pretty long way. And the good news of having a range like that is you can boost really easily. So also, when you boosted that, here's another thing I should mention. So both of Vega's most heavy standing hit twice. That's going to be important a little bit later. But if you are boosting like that, you'll have enough time to confirm if they got hit by both. That way, you'll get the full damage off that boost. Like I said, Vega's buttons take him a long way. A long way to be doing that.
Part of the mission.
Also, there's this. So, Vega uses... You'll see most Vegas use this move a lot. But, in reality, like I said, standing medium kick I feel is underrated. It's just this one comes out faster. Like, you see the difference, like, when Vega does that and that. This is like almost... This is like a CDS2 Blanca Suite type fast right here. So, this is rightfully a move to keep in mind. But if you want to mix it up, or you feel they're going to try to raw launch you because using this too much, switch it with this instead if you're just a little bit closer. That way, they won't be able to do that.
How unpleasant.
Alright. Anyway, going to crouching moves. So, Vega's crouching light kick doesn't really reach that far. It does... Yeah, there is a link to it. So it can link. So you can use this as a kind of an ultimate type of link and poke. Obviously, like, you see the difference here. This crouching jab reaches much farther than crouching light kick. Something else to mention. Look at that. Even though Vega lost his claw, he's still reaching at ranges, yeah, he's reaching at ranges that even light kick won't. Like, see, light kick come back up in the air for where it's hitting, but this is hitting much more frequently than the light kick. So light kick is even shorter range than Vega's crouching light punch, even if Vega has the claw off. So if you're going to be poking at people with jabs, this is a move to use. So his standing jab is not terrible, but like I said, this is your best go-to for just light pokes. It doesn't reach that far. That being said, Vega does have a really good low attack. Crouching medium kick. This move is fantastic. So not only is it has great range and comes up quickly, but because of how much hit stun it has, it is really easy to link. Look at that. Automatic.
Moving. Switching tactics.
Okay. It's automatic. So if you're like a little bit closer than your normal, you'll have this option, or you'll have this option. And like I said, that's a ton of hit stun. That time it didn't link. But like I said, you saw me hit a lot earlier. There you go. Alright. That being said, let's go over, like I said, we're the medium. This move is not terrible either. It's a good move to throw every so often. Like, obviously, this move reaches farther, but it does have some bit of safety to it, like this. This is not actually most target combos are very unsafe on block, but this simply is the worst thing to poke with. I'm gonna set the dummy to Dragon Punch. Let's record. And let's see what happens.
Tiger uppercut. Tiger uppercut.
Again?
Tiger uppercut.
Alright. That got called buffering.
Tiger uppercut.
Alright, try it one more time. I don't think I was blocking that time. I confirmed that we know just that it will lose reversals like that.
Uppercut. Tiger uppercut.
Right? Almost.
Tiger uppercut.
Almost. Come on. So, alright, like I said, so I'm trying to confirm that was indeed a true reversal.
Tiger uppercut. Tiger uppercut. Tiger uppercut.
Again. Okay, so poking with that move, be careful poking with that against characters with quick reversals. So not only will DP punish that, but another thing that'll punish it will be SPDs. So here's command grabs. Watch out for that. Here's DPs. Watch out for that. Be careful how deep you poke for block strings. Like I said earlier, if you want to test them out, use this move. This is a great way to confirm if they're getting hit or blocking. If they're blocking, consider your approach. Consider your retreat, perhaps. Like I said, Vega is very good at the range game, so keeping them at arm's reach might be the worst idea. But if you're up close and they were, like I said, if you confirm they hit, then this move reaches very far.
Move it.
So that is,
It's all or nothing.
That is it for mediums. Let's go to heavies now. So Vega has a number of really good heavies. This move. Reach pretty far, right? What could happen if it's a counter hit? That's a crumple stun. Get more off of that. Once I get the timing right. Just a moment. Like I said. Alright, like I said, that is a far heavy punch, and as you might have gathered, it's really good if you're trying to get those long boosts, because that move reaches a really long way. So if you confirm that you've hit him with a medium kick, or medium attack, I should say, both the crouching medium punch, crouching medium kick, or the standing medium kick, like I said, the standing medium punch doesn't go that far. It's really good to confirm your boost, because when Vega does that, he lunges forward, so he'll be much more likely to get the raw launcher ender than someone like Kuma, who also has really long normals, but isn't pushed forward enough to do what needs to be done to finish off with a cross rush. And then you're in a pretty bad predicament because the launcher missed, and bad things happen. Win Sagat overview. Sagat overview will happen in due time, my friend. I was a Sagat main in vanilla, but I've dropped over the years. Like I said, I couldn't keep with the DP life all the nerfs he got in 2013. His DP is still really good, by the way. It's just, again, like I had to screw my playstyle up a bit as I learned how good I actually was. And say I gravitated Bison. In this case, Vega, we're going with today. Let's go over this move. Standing heavy kick. So you notice, it's not really hurting that much. Unless I'm a little bit closer. They're pretty much identical, to be honest, when it comes to this kind of stuff. So, standing close or far, not much difference. In fact, look how slow it recovers. Be careful when you use this move just in neutral like this. So the anti-air's not terrible, I guess. It's the dummy to record and see what happens. Now we'll do it. Let's try it. Trade. Trade. Oh, that was a heavy punch. Yikes. Just got straight to beat. Alright, so yeah, as an anti-air, could use some work. And that range wasn't really that bad, but like I said, up closer, even like not that close, it's not really that dependable as a true standing anti-air. Now this move though, is a bit, alright, not that one. So, as you guys know, in Street Fighter 4, this is one of Vega's main range anti-airs. In this game, you don't really have that much priority. Like I said, that move beat it. It's kind of 50-50, to be honest. Depends the angle of the attack. Like you saw, that Sagat's jumping heavy kick is just like being it clean. And it trades. So, anti-air, that is not what you want either. So, that being said, let's go over our crouching heavy punch. I don't really use it that much. I think this move I think this move is better. 1, the stun, 2, the extra range. This one's faster than that one. Or, actually not that much faster. They look about the same. So like I said, use this over this. This is the superior move, and it really serves the exact same function, as it'll hit both crouching and standing. This one has like a high angle, so it might miss some characters, so be careful. Also, it's not really that safe. So, this, don't worry about it. This is the good one you want. Alright, Vega also has his trademark slide. Slide, not as far as some others. Yeah, this one's not as fast as someone like Guy. I think Guy slides faster than this. I'm pretty sure, actually. But yeah, this one, it has a good deal of active frames. But like I said, the range, and obviously it's very unsafe if you get blocked. But let's see what happens. Let's set a dummy to block. Alright, try again. Alright, messed up. Try again. Alright, fidget pass. Alright, see? I was blocking that time, it didn't make any difference. So, obviously, this move's really not that safe on blocks. So, doesn't go as far as Bison's slide, and it's pretty much just as unsafe. The only thing it really has that's like active a long time, along with being a lot slower, and not going as far. So, it's good to do it every so often. Also, the hard knockdown's kind of nice, if you want to like use like a combo ender, but typically I don't recommend it. The only reason I really use it as a combo ender is if if I take my claw off, for example, let me reset this. So Vega has certain kinds of juggles he can use and can't use depending on which way his claw is and where it is. So if the claw is off, my options are limited for combos.
As you please.
Let me show you.
Competent.
That whipped. Normally it wouldn't. So I have to find another combo now.
How
Bring
unpleasant.
him back in. Take him away from the claw so Vega's like actually get his claw and ruin the whole point.
All part of the mission.
That's one option you can do. It won't be a hard knockdown, but you'll have a lot of advantage because the opponent attempt to quick stand, and you might be able to continue pursuing and pressuring a bit more.
Come on.
But like I said, that's a hard knockdown. Like I said, that takes a long way to cut the slide. So really, you're good either way. If you want the hard knockdown to really set some sort of a Oki or a reset neutral, use the slide as a finisher if you don't have a claw.
It's all or nothing.
Next up, we have command normals. So this normal is a bit interesting. This is a down, forward, and medium kick. This is Vega's overhead. So unlike some of this game, this move does not combo typically. You might have seen a trial in the game where Vega can combo off it like you saw there. The problem is, while that looks very cool and would be very good, typically, that only works on standing characters, which defeats the point of it being an overhead, I think. If they were to crouch, and I did the exact same situation, I had a counter hit, it's not going to combo. Look at that. That was the exact same timing. I'm trying really hard, so let's see what happens. Yeah, not gonna happen. Okay, it's gonna stand back up. I'm gonna try it again. Look at that. That one comboed, but it wouldn't otherwise. So this is basically good to, for one, you could just keep doing this and be kind of a jerk. And then the moment they decide to maybe stand up and don't have a DP stock, you're just letting it do as you please. You can throw this in and kind of mix them up a bit. Common tactic for jury players, too, who have an overhead they can't combo off of typically. So they just wait until someone tries to stand up and block the next one, as they get overhead again, and again, and again, and again. So that is that. The overhead is good, though, for, because you have some advantage, not enough to combo them, but enough to start poking them again, because your pokes do have some very good range. So if you can master the double jab link. There we go. You can basically convert off it if you can confirm. Like that. In fact, you can jab with this too, if you're close enough like this. Jab with the crouching light kick rather than this crouching jab if you're close enough. Like I said, this move's a great range poke for a jab, but for a light, if you're like in their grill like this is a good poke too. Don't underestimate it if you're like in their grill. I'm just talking about ranges. But if you're in their grill, go ahead, poke at it, make it happen. Let's continue. This move. So as you know, in Street Fighter 4, his Cosmic Heel, down forward heavy kick, causes a juggle state. In this game, he gets more juggles than just a single flip kick. He can throw some normals in there to help him buffer that charge in ways he could in Street Fighter 4. Let's look at that range. He just confirmed at will. So yeah, this is good. Like I said, it's going to throw every so often. Also, the cover's fairly quick. So if they're crouching, as a reminder, it won't hit crouchers. But it's a good thing to, Alright. Yeah, that's fast. That recovers quickly. Obviously, they have like a DP or a flash kick on deck. Be careful just how heavy you go with that. But it's a good way to kind of make them honest, because they have a very good walk speed, both forward and back. And because of how the opponent crouches, they'll be more liable to be thrown than before. Got right in his grill. Let's move on to his specials.
It's all on the line.
So, Rolling Claw. If you are doing a link, and you have meter, typically your main combo ender for specials is going to be the light version. That starts up the quickest, and it goes far enough where he can confirm off links that way. In fact, let me show you some real quick. Careful though, that's kind of a tight link. Well, not as tight, like I said, that's his basic link. Crouching medium kick, crouching medium punch. Link there. See if we can combo off of it, shall we? I do know it in combos though. Give me a moment. It's been a while since I've used the trigger one. Because usually when I play Vega, I just cross rush and poke at will like that. So let's show some cool combos first. That one comboed. Watch what you can do off of that. That's a standing combo starter. So that's good to have. Here we go. Watch this.
Silence.
Sorry, it's been a while. I got it.
Competent.
Not quite.
Competent.
Uh-oh. Anyway. You get the idea. That is the light version. Medium version starts a bit slower, but I made things combo off of this. In fact, for pretty much the same kind of hit stun, it's simply going to be the his close heavy punch. Only the first hit though. So this move, he can cancel the first hit into a special. Namely, his heavy rolling claw, which is also good. Let's see here.
All part of the mission.
Alright.
All part of
Watch
the mission.
this. Look at that, isn't that cool? So you get a free CADC off that with some characters. And you can use that to potentially reset them as well. The EX version, doesn't really start up that fast, but let's see if it does what I think it does. But I'm pretty sure it does, actually.
Tiger! 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 Tiger!
Try again.
Tiger!
Look at that. Fireball invincible. So if they're throwing balls at a certain range.
Tiger! Tiger! Tiger!
So obviously up close they can react pretty quickly. This move is not very fast. But you get closer. Whoa, that's cool. So it goes through fireballs, but doesn't eat fireballs. Keep that in mind.
Let's do this!
Next up, the classic, the wall dive, which has been a key part of Vega's arsenal for many, many, many years. In this game, it's not quite as good as some other games, but it is good to throw it every so often. Just remember, in this game, there's a little something called Air Crush. So if you go into heavy, your move, no matter how early or how late you did, it's going to be completely nullified, and you'll be put in a float state. And some characters can really mess you up if they do that. So be very careful using this in certain matchups. Law, don't even think about it. Most times you're not going to be beating Law. Asuka, very variable, but also somebody use with great caution. Anyone with an air crush attack, please be very careful using this move. That's also why they gave Vega his steering. So if he feels like they're looking for an air crush, he can just, whoa, pull back, what am I doing? And then make something happen. It does make Vega's Oki very strong, though. So, Vega's Azuna drop doesn't have like the same godlike range it had some other games. So most times you can go for cross-up or hit them a bit earlier than they're expecting and make something happen with this. In this game, Vega's swipe is a lot more vital than his air grab. But if you like an air grab every so often, go ahead. But like I said, be very careful. Like Sagat, for example, if you are for sure going for the Azuna drop, you're getting greedy, he will DP you, and it's gonna hurt.
Tiger uppercut! Tiger uppercut! Tiger uppercut! Tiger uppercut!
Look at that. Look how high that reaches. Be careful.
Tiger uppercut! Tiger uppercut!
Also, I should note there's recovery when he lands.
Uppercut!
So you noticed when Vega landed a little short hop, that's not a true backdash. So if he does that little hop right there, he is vulnerable. That's recovery. So be careful, please. Yeah, please be very careful. It's not really that safe on block, especially in care of DPs.
Are you ready?
Next up, as you also something else you should mention about that move, the EX version. That's still an excellent move to kind of throw out there. It's not invincible on the way up though. Like it is very fast. It might like a flash kick, but it's not an invincible reversal. So don't use it as such. Use this because of its speed, not so much for its invincibility. So if you feel like they're walking at you a bit too callously and kind of testing you out as you're crouching, throw this at them every so often to see what they're going to do. Bar doesn't build as fast as it does in Street Fighter 4, so also keep that in mind. But Vega's pretty good about building bars, so it's good to have in his arsenal every so often. Alright, that being said, let's go to his other jumping claw move, this. So the way this works is, typically... Yeah. So this is the light version. This is the medium version. And this is the heavy version. So you noticed, and as he did it, he floated a bit higher in the air. And this one, the light floats to the highest, medium floats a little bit lowest, and heavy floats to the lowest. Now this is actually a really good move in this game. I know in 4 it's had like its iffy things, but in this game, if you have a counter hit, and you make something happen, that's a wall bounce. And Vega loves wall bounces, because he can start combos really easily. Get him in the right range. Why isn't it combo? I've seen this combo before, though. Just a moment. Alright.
Switching tech.
I'm gonna try one more with the wall bounce. I've seen a combo in full before. So it might be range dependent. Or even hitbox dependent. Alright, so looks like for now, just due to how weird the range is, if you get this, you can just do that. You'll get the job done. It's the loss of one medium in exchange for more consistent damage. That's an easy trade-off. Now the EX version. So what makes this move good is because of how fast it starts, they can actually jump behind or in front of people and make them guess. This is really good if they're near the edge of the screen. And you're somewhere in the middle. So it's really good also in the middle of block strings. Kind of help them reset them a bit. So it works as a reset. Like that. Like again, it's range dependent. Something else you should know about both wall dives. You have to manually steer them if you want to go a certain direction deliberately. Otherwise, what he'll do is he'll be going to the nearest wall to jump. Like this one. By default, he'll typically always go backwards for wall dives. Same with yeah, both of them actually. Well, at least, sorry, for Vega's regular wall dive, the one that has the Azuna drop, you have to manually steer to want to go forward. Otherwise, he will always go backward by default. Now, for the claw, you can only steer him if you have the EX version. That time I do it regular. This time I do it forward. Just a moment. And also, as you know, and as you might figure at this point, how we can combo them depends on where they are on the screen. So keep that in mind as well. But otherwise, it's a good way to reset people, especially mid-screen.
Switching tactics.
Next up, we have his Scarlet Terror, the Flash Kicks. So I've seen people do multiple flash kicks at a time. It's kind of hard for me. That's one option. So again, this is the light version. Light version only has one hit, but it starts with quickly. Medium kick has 2 hits. So yeah, medium kick goes a bit farther, but recovers slower. Either way, they're all unsafe. So if you're doing this, please don't try to do it raw. And as an anti-air, it's kind of lacking, I find. In Super Turbo, it was a really good anti-air, but this game, not so much. It's not its purpose. Let's get a dummy, I'll show you. Look at that. I tried the meat. Look at this. So it has barely any invincibility. At all. Those counter hits, like, I was actually in the air when that happened. It didn't work. Do not use it like you would Guile's flash kick. Please, that's not what it's for. Its purpose is as a combo and juggle ender. That is its purpose in this game. Please don't use anything otherwise.
Let the madness begin.
So a basic combo for Vega, for example, would be this. Not that one. Basic combo. That's 390 damage meterless off a jumping heavy. 328 off a standing heavy. So not bad at all. $298 off a crouching medium kick. Like I said, it's a combo ender and a combo extender. Use it as such. It's also very useful in tag canceling, as you've seen me do many times. The purpose of this move is to get your opponent up in the air so your opponent can your partner can juggle them. Good stuff. Next up we have these. So this move, yeah. Basically just limits the range of his normals with very little payoff. It's not the one you should be using. In fact, I'll recommend using this for the EX version. The EX version is better for one reason. So when his mask is off, Vega's attack power increases. You saw earlier the heavy attacks do 90 damage by itself. Now they do 99. Basically it adds a 10% increase to all of Vega's attacks, which is pretty cool. But his defense goes down, and Vega's already a low health character. So be careful. Or a medium health character. Either way, Vega's defense, being he has like no defense options anyway, this is basically for the cost of losing your mask manually, you can get some extra damage on your attacks. It's pretty cool. Also, by the way, with the claws off, his damage goes down significantly for all his punch normals. Next up would be his throws. So, forward throw the suplex puts him in really good range to catch a roll. Like, they bounce away pretty far, so he can easily react to see what they're going to do next. And same deal with the back throw as well. Back throw takes a bit farther, I find, than this one. But it's good to have to see what we're going to do. Reset neutral. But again, Vega thrives at range. So his throw puts him in perfect poking range. Jump moves. Let's do some jump moves. So Vega has some fantastic jump moves. This move is good as an air-to-air, but he has better air-to-airs. In terms of cross-ups, Vega is very lacking. He has very little in the way of like useful cross-ups. So crossing up people is not going to be the name of your game, at least with his regular jump attacks. The name of your game is to jump in. His jumping heavy punch starts up super quick, very active, combos easily, even has some instant overhead factor. Vega's jumping heavy punch is a fantastic move because it starts up so quickly. You can also air-to-air people very effectively with it. There'll be some characters who have faster air-to-air moves, but in many cases, this is a good move to throw out every so often to test just how good your opponent's air-to-airs actually are. Try it. Trade. Easy clean there. That's how I beat his clean. So that is not a that's a juggle on counter hit only. Now, if you want a guaranteed juggle state, you're gonna want his neutral jump heavy kick. This move comes out super quick, and more importantly, it combos from neutral jump. Not many characters can combo off of neutral jump attacks like that from air to airs. So this is actually a really good move to use as a pure anti-air if they're at the right range. So basically, it's kind of like a ghetto flash kick, I guess.
I got this.
Look at this. Try it again.
All part of the mission.
How's that work? Anyway, we get the idea. Let's try one more time.
Switching tactics.
So that is that. That's a fantastic air-to-air. Neutral jump heavy kick. Use neutral jump heavy kick for defensive purposes. Use forward heavy punch for offensive purposes and instant overheads. Those are two fantastic jumping moves. Two of the best in the game, in fact, especially jumping heavy punch for jump. It's probably one of the best jumps in the game. Other than things like Yoshimitsu jumping heavy punch, which breaks a lot of rules. So, like I said, have jumping heavy punch in your Vega arsenal. We're going to go to the Super now.
Let the madness begin.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier Vega's reversals are pretty gosh darn lacking. He has the backflip, by the way, that's this one is 3 heavy punches, this one's 3 heavy kicks, but people can chase that down if he gets too overzealous with it. It has some recovery to it. Please be very careful. But if he is expecting an overhead and he's got the bar for it, all he has to do is hold down and then press up the direction he wants, and all 3 punch buttons. And that is his super art. Also, just if you didn't figure out by now, down, forward, up, and punch, that's the Sky High Claw. That is his charge attack. So if you hold down the punch button before you take off, you'll be able to store a charge. And obviously, as you know, for all super arts, he will do a full super if he charges all the way. But you notice how I jump backwards. That's how I didn't steer it right. I just steered upwards. So hold down and then up forward, and the punches. That's what you want. You want to take off in their direction, you want to do it hold down, then up forward. Just straight down up like a flash kick. You might not go the right way all the time like that. Alright, next up is his cross art, his level 3. So we saw earlier, Vega had invincibility on his his Rolling Claw, the EX version. So in this game, his Cross Start is basically his Ultra 2 from Super Street Fighter 4. The big slide into the slash. The red impact, in other words. That's his Cross Start, and it has many of the exact same rules. Let's set a dummy, and we'll see if it goes under the low fireball. It'll go to... Guaranteed, this will go over all high fireballs. I'll show you. Guaranteed all highs.
Now, let's begin.
Oh, maybe not.
Now, let's begin.
Alright, so... something else to note. As you saw, while Vega does have invincibility, it's not active for very long. Some moves have a ton of invincibility for their start on their cross art. Vega's not so much, as you saw.
Now, let's begin.
I was too far away. Had to be a bit closer for it.
Now, let's begin.
Yeah, you have to be about half or a little bit closer than 3/4. Any farther, full screen, that is not a full screen punish. Let's try the low fireball and see what happens.
Are you ready?
Let's see what we got here. How are we doing for viewers right now? Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying the show right now. Those who are watching, I'll upload this to YouTube when we're done. Let's set the dummy to low fireball. And this will be a good test of just how invincible this is. But you saw earlier, do it too far away, invincibility runs out mid-slide. And that's no good.
Tiger! 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 Tiger!
Now, let's begin.
Okay, that time, too far away.
Tiger! Tiger!
Now,
Let's see if I get...
Let the
Perfect.
madness begin! Tiger! Tiger!
now, let's begin.
That time we got him. So you saw that. The invincibility does not last very long. It has some uses as a wake-up reversal too, but it's also incredibly unsafe. It's basically the exact same deal as you would have with this move, pretty much.
Now, let's begin.
So use this at mid to 3/4 screen when you're expecting a fireball or some kind of poke. As a wake-up reversal, while it does invincibility to blow up certain attacks, it's mad unsafe, and it's kind of a big risk to burn that much bar. When you really are, you already have the super to help him get out of trouble easier. Like, his super, let me go back this real quick, is excellent for deferring pressure, because it can make him just fly out of the corner or the wall, and basically put him out of the wall, so the corner is no longer behind him. So that would make his super art really good as well. I should mention that as well. Go over that. Let's go over his launcher. So I mentioned earlier, there's a reason why I have Vega Raven. It's not just I like both characters, both ninjas, but
Are you ready?
it's also because Vega's launcher launches characters higher than they typically would if they're hit by other launchers. So you've seen some characters have moves that can only be done at certain heights off of raw launch. That's because not every character has the same height on their raw launch. Some are very low, some are very high. Vega's is incredibly high.
How unpleasant.
So, hold on. Let's get the combo right.
Move it.
Why am I not doing it?
All part of the mission. How unpleasant.
Alright, that works. Try to get the work like that.
Competent.
So typically, that or alternatively
How unpleasant.
that as well. That would be Raven's main thing if he had any character to set up a launch for him. But because Vega goes so high, he gets a lot more off that.
I got this.
Look at that. You can see what's coming now.
How unpleasant.
If I can get to work.
Competent. How unpleasant.
Almost.
How unpleasant.
Switching tactics.
So yeah.
How unpleasant.
Let's try it. It's a timing thing, but like I said, knows how high he is. Only Vega can get him that high.
Switching tactics.
How unpleasant.
Switching tactics.
Kill them all. Incompetent.
All part of the mission. All part of the mission.
Incompetent.
Trying to get it. Hold on.
Tactics.
Let's move this. Perfect.
Move it.
Switching tactics.
Move it. Move it.
One moment, guys.
All part of the mission.
How unpleasant.
All part of the mission.
How unpleasant.
Why is it comboing? Turn my inputs on. So typically I'm supposed to CADC off that. Input display.
Switching tactics.
Move it.
There we go. All right. Perfect. So yeah, that's a Vega only launcher combo.
Part of the mission.
Alternatively, if someone launches Vega in, this one will go for it.
All part of the mission.
And because of the long juggle on that, you can just tag your partner back in for some more shenanigans. Like this.
How unpleasant.
Keep in mind, not everybody can set it up for Raven. That's why Vega, Raven are a team.
All part of the mission.
So, Raven can do that up to 4 times.
Need a break.
If Vega does not have the claw, as we reviewed earlier,
Competent.
his combos are much more limited. So he'll be forced to end the combo prematurely. Like that.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly?
So let's review. Like I said, you found his good buttons. Vega is a very range-heavy character. If you do feel you need to jump in, be sure to try to make him stand still. Like I said, because Vega's range is so good, because he can confirm so many things. All these things that make Vega so scary and neutral, having long range confirm for a cross rush, being able to poke at will, really. You can't really like boost monster too. Like, as you saw, characters can DP him really easily because unlike Bison, his close range things, his block cross rushes can be blown easily because it takes off for his hurt box to retract. So be careful with that. But if you can confirm, by all means, go for it. Like that.
How unpleasant.
Need a break.
And as you know, like I said, I've gone over everything for Vega. I'm gonna move one time. I'm pretty sure I got everything. And all his main moves. Terror, Barcelona, Sky High. My other favorite thing about what he does. How could I forget? There's 2 more things he can do. Let's have Sagat jump around a bit, shall we? Not only does Vega have this, if he feels like he's not gonna get the air he wants, he has something even better. He has an air throw, and not just the one for the wall, not just the one from what he had before, the wall jump one. He has a manual wall jump as well. That is not a special. You just jump back to a corner, not necessarily the wall, but just the corner of the screen, and press forward as you hit the back of it. This is fast. This is really good for jump-ins. In the meantime, if he wants to air throw somebody, just jump and use the the throw button, 2 likes. Super active. And that's 190 damage. You just did it. Crazy active. And because it starts up so quickly and his jump is so fast, he can do some pretty interesting combos with it. Look at that. I caught him in Crumple, and that worked. It works in Street Fighter 4 as well. That's incredible. Again, that's 190 damage. That hurts a lot. And as I said earlier, the manual wall jump greatly increases his jump range. His, while his jump is very fast, it's not very far, but he has a wall jump to aid it, it's going to make his life a lot easier. Look at that. Terror from above.
Need a break.
There is my prey.
I do believe that is our show for today. Everybody, please subscribe and do like this when I put it on YouTube. Share with your friends. Like I said, I'm excited to still play Street Fighter Cross after all these years, and while I have expanded my interest a bit, Cross Wires was still built on Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and I will never have it. I will never forget that. I'll never have it out of my life at this point. I've accepted this is my game. It'll always have a place in my life. So I hope it plays in yours as well. Everybody, thank you for joining us. I hope you guys will cross the line next time. Have a good day, everybody. Enjoy SummerSlam tonight.